Dude, I feel like an idiot wearing this.
Look, basketball jerseys fit me weird. Every time I size up, they just
Dude,
get
look
long.
at
They
me,
just get
bro.
longer.
I'm with you.
But at least
This
it
is
goes.
like tragic on me.
Yeah, when I size up in them, they just get longer. They don't get any
But look at
wider.
this.
I'm like, what am I supposed to do?
What am I doing?
That jersey rocks, though. That's
Dude,
awesome.
it's sick, right? I have this.
That's T Mac, right?
Yeah, T-Max. So I was trying to buy a Vince Carter jersey, and then I was like, nah, everybody has one at this
That
point.
would have
Like,
worked.
they just released theirs. So I was like, I like T-Mac. Like,
I
that's
was
a...
well. I was gonna say Bills owner T Mac, but Vince Carter would have also worked for that. So
Yeah,
it works.
true.
Yap, yap, yelling at pigeons. Yap, yap, nobody listens. Yap, yap, screaming my vision. Yap, yap, yelling at pigeons.
Welcome to Yelling at Sports, the first ever emergency Yelling at Sports. I don't know what day to tell you it is. I don't know when we're releasing this. Maybe tomorrow,
Yeah.
maybe with the regular episode. I have no idea. But as we're recording this, it is, hopefully I don't wake anyone up. It is 1:37 Eastern time here on February 2nd. And it must be important because we've got Tanner not only in a basketball jersey, but it's 2 a.m. and we're on a podcast.
Yeah.
But Luka Doncic is an LA Laker. It's a fever dream. Like, I feel like I should be sleeping right now, so I'm probably going to wake up and this is not going to have happened. But I'm going to enjoy this dream until I wake up because this is crazy. Like, obviously losing Anthony Davis sucks. Like, I love AD. I think he's the best big in basketball, but it's Luka. Like, there's only a couple players we could have moved AD for that I would have not even flinched. There's others I would have gotten over it. I don't even need to get over it. We have Luka Doncic.
Yeah.
Like, this is incredible. Can you think of, I know you're not a huge basketball guy, can you think of another trade in any sport of this caliber?
No, honestly, like, I've said that a couple times tonight. I can't think of a bigger trade in sports history. This is insane, dude. Like, when I was in a group chat with a couple buddies, and one of them sent it, and I was like, what just happened, right? Like, I'm not a huge basketball guy. I've said it before. Used to follow all the time, don't follow as much, but I saw that, and I was just like, oh my God. I don't know. Like, I don't even know how to equate this trade to any other sport. There's no equation to what just happened in basketball today. When did Shams tweet at like 12:30? I called you like 10 minutes after. I was like, oh my God, I can't wait to hear Luke's reaction to this.
Yeah. So I'm sitting there watching. They just added the Nice Guys. I don't even know if it's or just Nice Guys, but either way, to Netflix, and I've always heard good things. So I was like, I'm gonna watch it tonight. I'm watching it. My phone rings, and it's a FaceTime group chat from the Yelling at Pigeons group chat, and I was like, what could this be about? And I'm like, all right, well, it took me a while to answer it because I was trying to pause Nice Guys, and my Amazon remote's out of battery, so I've been using my phone as the remote. It's weird. And I finally joined. There's no Caleb. We haven't woken Caleb up yet. He's going to wake up to the craziest news. And, well, we tried, but he's fast asleep.
We did. Yeah, we tried. We tried pretty hard.
And guess what? I joined the call, and Tanner's like, have you heard the news? And if I'm being completely honest, I'm still a little bit scarred from Kobe, so I'm like, I don't know if this is good news or bad news.
Oh shit! Another helicopter crash.
Yeah, I'm like, uh-oh. There's been planes going down, and I'm like, what just happened? What's this news that I need to hear? And he's like, you said the craziest trade in, I don't know if you said sports history or NBA history. Either one would apply.
Yeah.
And I'm like, immediately, I'm like, okay, well, at least everyone's safe. I'm like, I still at this point though don't know if this is good news or bad news.
Everyone's safe, and Tanner's a casual, so it's probably not that crazy.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, but I'm also like, he's FaceTiming me at 12:30.
Yeah.
Like, this has to be pretty significant. So I'm thinking, is he calling me because we got fleeced, or you know what I mean, or is it good? So I opened Twitter. He's like, do you want me to tell you, or do you want to look it up? And I'm like, I'll look it up. So I just opened Twitter, and I figure it'll be one of the first things I see. Sure enough, I see a tweet from Shams. I somehow initially missed Luka's name. So I'm thinking you're calling me to tell me that the Lakers traded Anthony Davis, Max Christie, and a first-round pick for Markieff Morris and Maxi Kleber. And I was about to lose my mind.
Yeah,
I was about to
you were funny, bro. You
jump
said,
out the window.
oh.
Yeah. And then once I reread it and saw Luka, I lost my mind. Like I went running out of the room, timed it perfectly right when my brother came to tell me. And I'm like, wake everyone up. Like, wait, why are people sleeping? Everyone needs to know about this.
Like, it's groundbreaking. If you follow
this.
sports, this is groundbreaking. You have to know about it. Like, it's insane.
Even my brother-in-law, who I'm pretty sure goes to bed at a pretty normal time. I guess he's out of season for he's a landscaper, so maybe he's staying up late these days. But like, I was like, there's no shot he's up. Should I call him? I'm like, I'll just text him. He answered back right away. Like even he was up and dialed in. Like it's the craziest trade in sports history. I cannot think of one even comparable.
Yeah.
Everyone thought Shams got hacked. I still, if I'm being honest, until I saw the clip of him on ESPN, because we accidentally had ESPN2 on, so they weren't. They did it a little bit, and then they went into like highlights, and I'm like, I really.
What
like
were
to
you
hear
watching
from
on
Shams.
ESPN2 though? I need to know.
I don't know how we got
like
there. I think it just.
Or something?
Well, it was like some form of Sports Center, but they did talk about the trade. But then I saw Shams talking about the trade on Twitter, and I'm like, how did I miss that? And then I realized I was on ESPN2 and not regular ESPN.
Gotcha.
That's how.
Yeah.
But until I saw that clip, there was still like 1% of me that was like, this is going to be the night everyone remembers that everyone got tricked into thinking Luka went to the Lakers.
Yeah, this is the craziest hack ever.
Yeah, because I've always thought like a hacker, the best hack they could ever do would be just hack and not like tweet a slur or anything. Just hack a sports reporter and report the craziest trade ever.
That's true.
And just log out.
Yeah. So, all right, I'm out.
Yeah, and according to Shams, very few people knew about this. None of the players involved knew about it, and LeBron found out at dinner after the Knicks game.
That's what I saw too. So LeBron found out at dinner. Luka's shocked. AD's shocked, right? And you know the narrative of LeBron too throughout his career. He's the unofficial GM. Blah blah blah.
Legit.
I think that brings up a huge question of if he's not in it, what happens with him, right? These guys just traded a 31-year-old, about to be 32 next month, for a 26-year-old or 25, about to be 26.
Going to be 26, so, but still.
So it's like, is he out of the loop, or are they building for one last push? I mean, Luka's been hurt this year. I don't know what they have left in that. This is just it's mind-boggling to me, man. Like
I'm not going to sleep all night. So when I was like, when I kind of jokingly was like, should on an emergency pod, and then you were like, I'll grab a beer and hop on, and I'm like, I'm not going to sleep anyway.
I called you guys because I'm like, we have to talk about this. Nobody can listen, but I need to hear your guys' like opinion. Like I'm mind blown by this.
It's crazy. It's truly crazy. Like it's funny because I was watching the Knicks game with Jimmy, and we beat them. We looked great. We didn't have AD. And I was like, man, we didn't even have AD. And I jokingly was like, Lakers better without AD. Should we trade him?
Question mark.
Like an hour later, we trade him for Luka. Like it's crazy. And people have gotten on Rob Pelinka for years, saying he doesn't do good enough job. He's wasting away LeBron. And it's like, this is bigger than LeBron. Like, and I know you're saying, oh, Luke's coming. That's coming from a place of being a LeBron hater, but like it is. I said before we knew whether or not LeBron knew, and I was talking to Jimmy about it, I was like, this might be a deal where like you don't consult with LeBron on this. Because
no, I don't
it's
think
bigger than him.
to.
If the Mavericks call you and say, do you want Luka Doncic? You find a way not to scream yes into the phone. Take a deep breath.
Yeah.
Pretend to act cool, put your poker face on.
Yeah.
And in your mind, you're like, what you'd say, oh, what are you thinking? And whatever they respond with is a yes.
And what more?
And it doesn't matter what LeBron thinks.
It's like, okay, that's your offer, and it's like, duh.
Play hard to get a little bit. Be like,
also, like, how about like, you throw in Marcus Morris, or
or maybe they ask for 2 first-round picks at first. Like, what if we just do one?
Yeah, one's fine with us. We don't know where we're gonna be.
You can't let them realize that what they're doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which, to be fair, the Mavericks might be instantly better in a way.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think in the long term, but Luka and Kyrie was always weird to me. I was shocked that they were as good as they were last year. Because they're both ball dominant. But Kyrie and AD, with AD, who, again, I think is the best big in basketball, down low. He's playing the best basketball of his career. Like, I think right now, especially with Luka hasn't been playing, they're probably a better team than they were.
Yeah.
But in the long run, you just traded the face of your franchise, who's only 25. He's been a first-team All-NBA player 5 times already at 25 years old, and you just traded him for a 32-year-old.
Yeah.
That's insane. Like, someone was
Yeah.
like, and again, you can't put this really into other sports terms because it's unheard of.
Yeah, it's
I
impossible.
saw someone trying, and they weren't quite on, but the fact that someone would even try this was, they said it was like the Bengals trading Jamar Chase for Devontae Adams. I was like,
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, yeah, that
not really, but
honestly,
is that
that's
kind of
not.
that idea a little bit?
Yeah, I don't hate that. Like, my friend and I were also doing the same thing. Like, how do you equate this, blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah. And like, I'm like, I don't know. You can't, right? But in my head, I'm like, Mahomes for Jaden Daniels? I don't know. I can't, no, there's
Yeah.
nothing that I can say that's going to make sense for what just happened. And, yeah, I mean, to go back to the Mavericks being better point, like, obviously, like I said, I'm a casual, but
Yeah.
I look at the Mavericks now. AD gets to play the 4. He said
Mm-hmm.
before, Lakers need to get a center, man. I want to play the 4. Like, this isn't my position.
I
He's
agree
now
with him
playing
too.
the 4, right? The Mavericks have a little bit of wiggle room, I think, to maybe make another trade.
Yeah.
Maybe make a trade that blows up another universe in Jimmy Butler, maybe.
Ooh,
I don't know. Like, I'm just throwing it out there. He's obviously got to be out of Miami.
Yeah, that would be
I
fun.
think Kyrie and AD playing the 4 at this point with Clay shooting, all the experience this team carries, especially winning championships. I can't imagine a space where they're worse this year. I don't know
Yeah.
where Luka is injury wise. I don't know where he is conditioning wise. Like, that's a huge problem that they had. At the end of the season,
Conditioning.
he had a chance to get a 5-year, $345 million max. Is that the guy? I would. Of course, it's Luka Doncic,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But if you're his organization, you're trading him away for that. It's like, maybe they know something. I mean,
Yeah.
the Mavericks have always been a very good, I shouldn't say a very good, but a good organization, right?
Yeah.
And
Always in the
so,
mix.
yeah, like, I just wonder what they know. But this year, Kyrie, AD, and Clay, while they are older, while you might say they're washed in Clay, dude, I can't imagine a better year for them to win a championship or just get there, right? Like, the best teams in the NBA are very young. The Cavs, super young. The Thunder, super young. The Rockets, super young. Like, you're looking at these top teams and you're thinking, why can't they get out of the West? In my opinion, could they win the championship? I don't know, right? Boston's still there. They're a great team. But can they get out of the West? To me, hell yeah. Like, this is an insane lineup with great potential and great experience to get out of the West, in my opinion.
Because as good as Luka is, I think having him and Kyrie on the floor at the same time, I don't really think they complement each other. I thought that when they made the trade, and I was surprised that they ended up just being so good that it kind of weirdly worked in a way.
Me too,
But
yeah.
Kyrie and AD, like, their games complement each other so much more than Luka and AD. Obviously, the youthful aspect makes a huge difference, but I think it's a win-win for both teams. I think the Lakers, you get your franchise guy for the next 10 years. I'm sure they have every intention of giving him that Supermax deal. And if you're the Mavericks, like, yeah, I think you have a legit shot to win it in this next, I don't know what Kyrie, Clay, and AD's contracts are looking like as far as when they expire, but at least for the next, I would assume, year or two, you have a real window to go and get it done. I think Max Christie is going to be a huge role player for them. I think a lot of people probably don't know much about him. Like, they're seeing him as just kind of a throw-in piece. And in a sense, he is. Like, obviously, in a trade with Luka and AD, everyone else is a throw-in piece. But, like, this is a guy who's in his 3rd season, I want to say. Didn't play a lot under Darvin Ham, but just worked his tail off, and he's become a great 3-and-D player. He can go to the rack. He had 15 tonight against a New York team that plays good defense. Like he's a good player, so he's going to be great for them. He's going to learn a lot from Clay because he plays a very similar game. But ultimately, I shared a tweet. You liked it, so I know you saw it from 2021 of Luka in a Lakers jersey, and I was like, literally everyone. You can take our entire roster, every single player for Luka, and leave us with one player, and I'm in.
Yeah.
So
Right. Yeah.
that stands today. I mean, it's Luka. Like,
Yeah.
there's realistically Luka, Anthony Edwards, Anthony Edwards, just because he's so electric. Luka, Anthony Edwards, and Wemby. Off the top of my head, there might be more if I thought about it longer. Are probably the only three where I would have been like, we traded AD, we
Don't
lost.
care.
Like, don't
Yeah.
even. Like I
Yeah.
said earlier, like there's other players where I would have gotten over it and been like, this works. Like AD just was, whatever. But like those are probably the only three where I would have been like, fine, no, don't flinch at all. Take
Yeah.
AD. Like I love
Yeah.
AD. He won us a ring. He's one of the great bigs in Laker history. I think he doesn't get enough credit for how much he's played as a Laker. He always gets thrown around as these guys that don't play. He's not. He's just not one of those guys since he got to LA. And so I mean he's a Laker for life. I would be all in favor of hanging up his jersey, but it's Luka. I don't care.
Yeah. There's nothing else you can say.
I don't care.
Yeah. It's interesting for the Lakers' future too, because like you were talking about win-win for both organizations. I agree. Like if it doesn't work out for the Mavericks, or it does, right? We don't know. So be it, right? AD's gone, Kyrie's gone, Clay's gone, full rebuild, right? Great.
Mm-hmm.
You're looking at the Lakers, you're thinking they have LeBron and AD, and they're really just trying to piece things together. They drafted Bronny James, like hoping on a prayer that he would be something. It's like, what do they have? Well, now they have, arguably, other than Wemby, Giannis, maybe Anthony Edwards, the best overall player in the NBA at a youthful age. It's like, I mean, they're set up for the future. He's 25.
Yeah.
They have another 10-year window. They can do whatever they want. If they need to rebuild around him for 2 years, great. He's 28 after this season. Like, they're going to be great for another 10 years. And the Lakers, it seems like, continue to do that, right? The end of the Kobe years were not great, right? No. It was ugly.
Some of those lineups were nightmares.
Yeah, and yeah, you would know. And then they went and got LeBron, dude. Like, what?
It's
AD,
always somebody.
What's happening? Then they win another championship. Everybody's like, oh, it's the Lakers, right? Yeah. This is, to me, another, oh, it's the Lakers trade. It's like, they have to extend that period as long as they can. They can't be a bad basketball team. NBA is not great unless the Lakers are competing. They don't have to be the best team in the league, but they have to be talked about. They've got LeBron, great. Now they got Luka, great. They're going to be talked about for another 8 years. Doesn't matter.
Like the Lakers, I feel like we're the first pro sports team to build on the model of stars attract stars. Mm-hmm. Just always have a star. Every year you go by not having a star, you're losing your reputation, you're losing your fans. I mean, you're probably some of the bandwagon ones. The real ones are staying, but like in general, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Get another star. Just get a star and more will come. And this is why you always see the jokes. Lakers fans are so delusional. They think they're getting every star player. Because we are. Mm-hmm. That's why. That's why we're delusional. Because this stuff happens and justifies our delusional takes about us getting the superstar. Because nothing is off the table when it's the Lakers. Like, it's the Lake Show. It's the bright lights, big city. People want to play for the Lakers. And I've said this about foreign basketball players who are taking the league by storm right now. Like, some of our best players are foreign. I think a lot of them probably grow up when they're dreaming of playing in the NBA. They're not in their local gym looking up saying, man, one day I'm going to be hanging a banner for the Utah Jazz.
Yeah.
They're thinking about the Lakers. Yeah. They're thinking about the Knicks, the Celtics, maybe the Bulls. Like, if you're from France, it's probably the Spurs, because obviously they had their dynasty and they're big on Tony Parker out there. So that where Wemby kind of made it to his childhood team. But like, these guys are wanting to play for teams like the Lakers, and that's always going to be the case. Even with, guys born here in the U.S., like, they're the big market. they have not only the money to get these guys, but they're the story. Like, who doesn't want? Even if you grow up a Lakers hater, there's got to be part of you if they were on the table that's like, I could be in. Like, look at the greats that played there.
Yeah,
I could be one of them.
Yeah, I could be in that jersey. It doesn't even
Like,
matter.
yeah.
Like, I think LeBron's a great example of that. Does
Mhm.
LeBron get his jersey hung? I don't know. I would say yes. I'm
He
a
will.
huge LeBron supporter.
The question is,
which
does he
why-
get two? I'm not
Yeah.
in favor of him getting two. He will get one.
Right. And you and I have always disagreed on LeBron. So that's where the beauty and I of you and I where we contrast. But LeBron said the same thing. He's like, it's the Lakers. Like, of course, I love Cleveland. Like, I love Miami. But, like, it's the Lakers. I want to go. Like, who doesn't want to play for the Lakers, right?
Yeah.
Like, and you were talking about, like, stars attract stars and stuff like that. Like, dude, the NBA, for me, is, like, the only sport. And this is why I think it stays relevant, is for trades like this, moments like this, right? Like, this ranks up there, this trade ranks up there with LeBron's decision for me to go to Miami. It's like no other sport is able to captivate you in the way that the NBA does when a player goes to a different team or a player stays with a team or whatever it is. Like, the NBA captivates everyone when things like this happen. And we were talking about it's impossible to equate because no other sport does this, right? There's only 15 guys, right? It's a minimal roster. It's minimal stars, and it's like, can you add 2 to get 3? Can you get to another level? And man, these situations, I love them for the NBA. It's great for the whole sport. Who knows what happens for these teams? Like you said, I think both win. But man, what a great trade! What an exciting night! I can't remember the last time I was this excited about a sport at 2 a.m. in the morning. Like, this is awesome.
Yeah, like you put it well. I've heard people say it as the reality show that is the NBA off the court is unmatched by any reality show, let alone sports. Like, it truly is just as exciting, the moves that are made off the basketball court, as it is watching a game, which in some sense you could argue that's probably a problem. The game should probably be more exciting.
Yeah.
But it's just so captivating. Like, moves like this don't happen in other sports.
Yeah.
Like, to be fair, moves like this don't happen in the NBA either until right now. So,
that's true. Yeah,
but
that's
still,
true.
in general,
still, big players
crazy.
get traded all the time, right? Like, and they do. Like, I watch a lot of hockey. It happens in hockey. Mika Rikkinen, he just got traded from Colorado. He's one of the top 10 players in the NHL. People would understand, but it's also hockey, right? Like, he's not a household name. He's not Luka Doncic. He's not Anthony Davis. He's a great player. But 2 of them going in different directions. Like, what? I just don't
crazy.
It's crazy. It's like we're playing Dynasty.
How old is
football?
Yeah. How old is Connor McDavid? Do you know off the top of your head?
He is 20. I want to say he's our age. I want to say he's 27, about to be 28.
Perfect. So imagine if you're a hockey fan. Maybe this is way off, but I'll throw this out there. This is Connor Bedard being as advertised. He ends up being as advertised.
Yeah.
And in like 4 years, it's McDavid for Bedard swap.
Yeah. I mean,
that would be crazy.
If McDavid, yeah. Not to bring you down, but McDavid.
No, I mean, I'm not a hockey
on
guy.
a path to be the greatest hockey player of all time. Like,
okay, and Anthony Davis is the greatest big of all time.
Okay, all right. Hot takes. It's 2 a.m. Be kind to us. But yeah, I mean, and you talked a little bit about, teams and like, do you remember them? Like, who would want to play there, right? And I was talking about, like, the Thunder are the number 1 seed in the West right now, 39-9, right? Nobody cares. Like, well, people care. Like, the NBA cares. Like, true NBA fans.
NBA
like,
fans, like,
cool.
I care. Yeah.
But to me, I'm like, man, I miss Russ, Harden, and Durant, right?
Yeah.
You think about the Cavs, 39 and 9 or 39 and 8. One is one, one's the other. But it's like, yeah, Cavs are great. NBA cares. For me, I miss Kyrie, Kevin Love, and LeBron James.
Yeah.
It's like it is a stars league, and that's just it's the fact of the matter. Like when you think about football, there's 53 men on the roster. Think about basketball, there's 15, right? So 3 players, they're making up 20% of your roster.
Yeah.
You're looking at the Bills, right? You're looking at the Chiefs. You're looking at a team that has 10 superstars on it.
Yeah.
And it doesn't happen in other sports. It's phenomenal to see it happen in a trade like this. I'm super excited for the rest of the season, man. Like I'm
Yeah.
balled in. I'm gonna start watching basketball again
Let's
because
go.
of this.
We're gonna be a basketball podcast just like that.
Yeah, we are. Look, thank
Like-
God they made this trade. I'm so ready.
Cleveland is a great example of, what you're talking about, because they had LeBron, who, by most metrics, like, even if you're wherever you rank him in the GOAT debate, as far as being polarizing and being popularity, he's one of, if not the most popular basketball players of all time. As hated as he is, like, worldwide, he's huge.
Now, yeah.
Yeah, he's
But
huge,
back
right?
then, you think about LeBron 2006, he was
Yeah.
probably the biggest star in any sport, right?
Yeah,
This kid
but-
was 15, 16 on
Right.
the cover of Sports Illustrated, the next great one, right? Like, things like that don't pan out in any other
Mhm.
sport, it feels like to me. Like, there's a couple instances where it does, but it's small sports. Like, McDavid's one. But, yeah, I agree with what you're saying.
More so, what I'm getting at, though, is even being that big of a star, and we say stars follow stars, you still have to have that rich history of stars, because they had maybe the biggest star ever in Cleveland.
Yeah.
And he's from there as well. And I still don't think there's kids shooting a basketball at their local gym saying, I'm going to be a Cavalier someday outside of Cleveland.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, they had the biggest star ever, and they still have not established that reputation. But the Lakers have always been stars, stars, stars. And now you have the reputation of that's where stars go, right? Everyone just knows, oh, you're a star, you go to LA. That's where you go. Like, obviously, it's hard to make people think Cleveland is where stars goes. No offense to Cleveland. It's not exactly LA. But you get what I'm saying about the reputation of legends.
Yeah,
like,
for sure. I mean, you
the
look
Lakers
at like
always built that, and a lot of their stars didn't start with the Lakers. A lot of them weren't drafted by the Lakers, but they said, "Here's a star. We're gonna go get him, and we're gonna let everyone know that if you're a star, and you really want to prove that, you're gonna be a Laker.
Come to
That's
LA.
when people are gonna know that you are that guy."
Yeah, agreed. You look at like the single team superstars like Portland, right, with Damian Lillard. They could never get a second guy for him, right? Like LaMarcus Aldridge before him. Like it's like they are drafting these guys begging for one guy to say, I believe in Dame. Not I want to go to Portland or if it's any other team, right? The Wizards are great for us. It's like John Wall, right? Bradley Beal.
Mm-hmm.
These guys are drafted. Well, nobody's signing to these teams to go on, right? It's not like Kansas City, Buffalo, right? Like in the NFL where it's like, oh, I want to go play with Josh Allen. I want to go play with Patrick Mahomes. I want to go to Baltimore. I want to play with Lamar Jackson, right? Like that doesn't happen in the NBA. It's you fill out your 4 or 5 years and let's see what happens, right? Can they draft another star or 2 stars and continue like Oklahoma City? And it got blown up. And I think that's the beauty in basketball too, where these teams draft. Like I remember falling in love with the Thunder because they drafted those 3 guys. And I'm like, man, this is so special. Like
I still wish
remember
that team got at least 1 ring.
What'd you say?
I still wish that group got at least 1 ring.
Dude, I know. They were up 3-2 on the Warriors, and the Warriors came back. But it's like that team was so special. So special.
Yeah.
I mean, but that's basketball, and I think there's a beauty in it all, in the way that basketball does relate to a reality TV show, and sometimes it's annoying, but sometimes it's like this where it's like, holy shit, right? And it's like, this is a holy shit moment in NBA history for me.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
I mean, it really is like it's one of those "where were you" moments.
Yeah.
I'm always gonna remember Nice Guys, which I still haven't finished. I haven't resumed it at all since you called. Where like, oh, I was watching Nice Guys. They just added it to Netflix, and I'm like, I'll check it out. And got a call from Tanner, and it was the best Lakers news probably ever for my lifetime that I can think of. I mean, seriously, because like a lot of people would have been signing LeBron. I was always a LeBron hater.
Yeah,
I've learned to
you
coexist
hated
with
that.
it.
You hated that
But
move.
that
I
wasn't
know
like,
you did.
I wasn't doing backflips that day.
Yeah.
Like, there was
Man,
part
I
of me that
loved
was
it.
like, there was part of me that was like, let's go. Like, the Lakers are still that team that gets the
Yeah.
stars. But I wasn't super fond of that star. This is like the best news ever.
Yeah.
I mean, it's awesome.
I think
Luka's
I
one of my
think
favorite
back then-
players. I have Luka's jersey. I should have
Yeah.
dug it out and hung up that and a Lakers jersey behind me.
Yeah.
Oh, just unreal. I
Yeah,
wish Caleb
it
would
is.
wake up.
Yeah, it's great, man. Like, I'm super happy for you. Like, the Lakers dynasty, quote unquote, it's not like a full on dynasty, but you know, as they say, it's continues to roll. You know,
The Lake
they're
Show
going to be
lives.
great. So
The Lake Show lives. And if you're, you know, there is part of me. Sorry, I was about to say part of me that feels bad. I do not feel bad, but I'm sitting here talking as if everyone's excited about this. The Lakers aren't. They're hated by a strong amount of people because they always get these guys. And this is another night that the haters are going to have to listen. You're losing sleep because you're mad. I'm losing sleep because I'm celebrating. So you should have picked the Lakers. How about that? Oh, man. It's great. Oh,
Yeah.
It's great. I mean, it's just. Also, Maxi Kleba has been one of those random players that I'm just a fan of for no reason. So now he's a Laker, so that's fun.
Yeah.
I used to bet him for 8 points, 2 threes. Him and Jalen Brunson, 8 points, 2 threes every Mavs game that I would bet on. And now and they would both be plus money for each of those categories. Now Brunson, I would also do 3 rebounds, 3 assists. It was a whole board. And I mean, you could never get that now. He averages like 30 points a game.
Yeah.
Oh man, it is just it's awesome. And Markieff Morris coming back to the Lakers.
Yeah.
Not really a huge piece, but he was part of that championship team, so that's cool.
He's something. Yeah.
I mean, I'm anxious to see, like, I don't know what point I'll actually go to bed, but I want to know what LeBron has to say. I want to know what Luka has to say. AD.
Yeah.
Like, what are these guys, if it's true what Shams is saying, which I assume it is, that none of them knew about it.
Yeah.
Like Max Christie just said, I was about to say an hour ago, it's 2 a.m, but after the Lakers game, he was just saying, like, yeah, the road trip went great. Like 4-1 on the road. We're going back to LA. We're looking to stack some wins. We're feeling great. And then he probably literally walked in the room immediately after saying that, was like, hey, pack your bags, you're going to Dallas. Like,
Yeah, here's a ticket to Dallas. You're not going home.
Yeah, we are all going back to LA, but yeah, you're going to Dallas. Shout out to Rob Pelinka, by the way, for pulling this trade off without giving up Austin Reeves, because I have a hard time believing the Mavericks didn't ask for him.
Yeah.
He's been awesome since we traded D'Angelo Russell, because he's had to step into a bigger role, and that dude is sweet. If we can get early season Dalton Connect to show up, this team is
It's curtains.
Yeah, and this is not it. The Lakers, I'm doing my win horse. The Lakers will make another move because now they need a big desperately.
Yeah.
They will make another move.
Yeah, they're gonna make another move, and I think it's gonna involve LeBron. I
I'm
just
down
can't
for that,
imagine
too.
where you trade AD, and I'm sure you're like, okay, I'm fine with that,
Sure,
but I can't
yeah.
imagine. I mean, I can't imagine. I should say that, actually. It's not. I'm not foregone on this, but I wouldn't be shocked if LeBron gets moved. And for me, NBA, reality TV, it's the homecoming. I think he goes back to the Cavs.
Back to Cleveland.
It just
That'd be
feels
electric.
It just feels right for him.
They're a perfect team for him right now.
Yeah, they trade for him, and they bring Bronny along, of course, but it just feels like Cleveland. And in my wildest dreams, because LeBron's my favorite player, he gets his 5th. and that would be, oh my god, that would be insane. And we're talking
it would be a cool
hypotheticals.
story.
We're way
to
out
get
there
his
right
fifth on his hometown team with
Yeah.
his son. It would
Second
objectively
time
be
coming
like the
back.
hater in me. I would be rooting against them, but
Yeah.
well, I'd be rooting against LeBron. I would be rooting for Bronny, but
Yeah.
against LeBron.
Yeah, you love Bronny, bro.
I do love Bronny. Like that's my biggest thing about trading LeBron is like if we trade LeBron, we're going to trade Bronny too. I don't want to trade Bronny. I like Bronny. He's so good at G League basketball. If we can just get him to
Yeah,
do that
he
in NBA games,
Yeah.
we'll be golden. So
Yeah.
I don't want to lose Bronny. But
Sure.
yeah, I'm either one. I'm cool with either one. Whether it's adding a big and trying to win with LeBron and Luka right now, I'm down. Let's do it. Or if it's trading LeBron, like, is there a way we could somehow get Zion out of that? I don't know how. I don't think he would want to go to the Pelicans, but NBA more than any other league does a lot of multi-team trades. So
Yeah.
maybe you see a trade where Pelicans end up with $1 billion draft picks and someone else gets LeBron and we get Zion, and I don't know how it works out, but
Yeah.
Zion, I haven't given up on Zion. And his quote the other day about wanting to play back-to-backs and the Pelicans won't let him is very encouraging because he
Yeah,
doesn't
that
have,
was an interesting.
it means he doesn't have
interview.
Embiid syndrome, which is a good sign.
Yeah. Oh, dude, Embiid, man. God. Let's not get started.
Yeah, we could go on. I could go on and on about. I'm sure that guy that was chirping us is definitely listening, and he doesn't want to hear about.
Oh, he's gonna listen, and he's gonna hate us for this.
He doesn't want to hear us talking bad about Embiid.
Yeah,
who's missed 47% of his career games, but I digress.
Chill. I want that PTO though, for real. Like, I want to work 437 and not work 400. Like, that'd be great.
They were getting on Zion for that a couple weeks ago because he had came back. He was out for months. He came back, had like 30 points and a 360 dunk, and then he was instantly ruled out for the next game. And they were like, this man came back for one game and took PTO right away.
Yeah.
I respect it.
Yeah.
But, yeah, man. I mean, I'm not going to hold you all night. I could just repeat the same things. I probably will, and just to myself until I just my body gives up. But what an exciting night! Can't wait to wear my Luka jersey.
For sure, dude. I'm excited for you. I'm excited for basketball now, so it's gonna be a good end of the season. I'm excited to see both teams playing with their new guys. Like, I think it works out for both teams. So.
Lakers, Mavericks, February 25th, I believe, in LA.
Nice. I got my
Hopefully Luka's back for that.
I got my whole savings on the Mavericks. Whole savings.
Yeah, I mean, especially if we don't add a big, AD might go 40-20 on us that night because we don't have anyone that can play with AD.
Yeah, not to go prolonged on this, but there's something about Kyrie, man.
Talk as much as you want.
I love Kyrie. I was a Duke fan when I was younger. Kyrie is one of my favorite players ever. There's something about Kyrie that I feel like this rubs him the wrong way. And I don't know why. It's just, source vibes is telling me this. Kyrie, man, and that's why I'm bought in on the Mavs. Like, we talked about it a little bit earlier. I think the Mavs come out of this conference. Like, I 17-1, we were talking about earlier. They're plus 1,700 to win the conference. To plus 4,000 to win the championship. Like 40-1 odds with Kyrie, AD, Clay, and a full bench. Like 17-1 to win the conference. I can't get off that, man. Like, Kyrie's got one last run in him, and I think it's now. Like, he's finally the ball handler, like we were talking about, dominant ball handler. He's got a couple 40-point, 50-point, like, playoff games in him, I think, still.
Yeah, look, as excited as I am, that's great value. So if looking at FanDuel, to win the finals, they're plus 3,500. I don't think this move should put the Lakers ahead of them to win the finals.
I agree.
And I've been trying to convince people that the Lakers are better than they get credit for. They're winning a lot of games. They're 9 games above 500. It's flying under the radar. But as far as figuring out how this works if you keep LeBron and Luka, it's a lot harder to figure out that dynamic than it is to say, hey, Kyrie, I got you one of the best bigs in basketball, which I'll correct myself because I was saying best earlier and I kind of forgot Jokic existed for a second. But I got you the best defending big in basketball and one of the best players on offense for
That's
bigs in
yeah.
basketball. So, yeah, the Lakers being plus 2,100, I still don't think is bad value if it goes well, but like I don't think the Mavericks should be the team that.
Yeah.
Sorry, I think the Mavericks should be the team that made the jump in odds after this move.
Well, you think about too, like who's going to play defense for the Lakers?
Yeah,
Like
that's a problem because
you've got
another
Luka
underestimated thing is Christie
and
was one of
LeBron.
our better. Christie was one of our better on-ball defenders as well.
And and you lose him and AD. I mean, AD's one
AD's
of the best defensive players.
He's probably
in
the best
league.
defense player, and it's a travesty he's never won a DPOY. I
Yeah,
don't understand.
I mean, I just don't. I don't see where the Lakers get better from this trade today. 2 years from now, we're gonna say, "Wow, what a great trade for the Lakers!" But like
right
today,
now, I totally
they can't
get the
play
case for the
defense.
Mavs.
They don't have anybody.
You know what's interesting though is tonight, they're interviewing LeBron right after the game. They're like, you came out here, no Anthony Davis. You guys get the big win against New York. He's like, what did it take? He's like, defense. We played great defense all night. So.
Oh, okay. Maybe he didn't know.
Maybe Pelinka saw that and was like, you know what? We did. AD, pack your bags.
Yeah. You know what we did? Two of their best defenders, get out of here.
Get on out of here. Yeah. But
we need to score more points. If we're not going to play defense, let's just score more.
I will say we did just get, in my opinion, our best, not one of our best, our best on-ball defender back from injury. He's been out for a year, Jared Vanderbilt. So that does help. He's been back for a couple
true,
games.
yeah.
Obviously, he doesn't provide what AD provides down low at all. But as far as on-ball, he's pretty good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, there'll be more. That's the beauty of the NBA. There's going to be more. Maybe neither of these teams are done. You talked about maybe Dallas makes another move. I almost think it's certain LA makes another move, whether it's trading LeBron or adding a big or both.
Or both.
Yeah, they may trade.
I think both teams need to make a move. So
yeah,
I agree.
They're not done. They're not done. It's the beauty of basketball. Can't wait.
So, all right, is that it?
Yeah, we don't. Like I said, I could keep you here all night if I wanted to. 40 minutes, no notes, just going on the vibes, riding the vibes.
Just vibes.
That works for me. Caleb, I might post this just so Caleb's confused when he wakes up and there's a new episode.
Yeah, we should. It's an emergency pop.
Post it right away.
Like if you're gonna be up, I feel like this should be posted immediately.
Brother, I'm gonna be up. I'm gonna watch the same 1 hour taping of SportsCenter on repeat for the next 4 hours.
Same Luka Doncic highlights over and over.
Show me all the photoshops of Luka in a Lakers jersey.
I love that.
All right. Well, thanks for talking some ball with me at 2.
Yeah, man. Anytime.
All right,
congrats.
Man. Thank you. See ya.
Yelling at bitches.